Welcome back to our channel. Is your dime worth more than 10 cents? You won't believe the value. The year 1980 was a time of great change and tension. In the United States, political winds were shifting as the country navigated economic struggles, the aftermath of the Vietnam War, and the beginnings of a new, globalized economy. As the country transitioned, the economy found itself facing high inflation and rising unemployment, a combination that many dubbed stagflation. Yet, despite the troubles of the time, there was still a sense of optimism. There were strides being made in the technology sector, the personal computer revolution was just beginning, and new American leaders were emerging. In the midst of this, everyday life continued, and one small yet enduring symbol of America's monetary system remained in people's pockets. The 1981 dime coin. It was a simple coin, a dime, worth only 10 cents, but its history, design, and significance go far beyond its modest value. The 1981 dime holds a fascinating place in U.S. numismatics, a coin with layers of history and an aesthetic that continues to catch the eye of collectors. But what makes this small denomination coin so intriguing, and why has its value surged in recent years to an astonishing $128,000? Before we delve into the intricacies of the 1980 dime, let's take a step back to understand its broader historical and design context. The dime, representing a fraction of a dollar, has been a staple of American currency for over a century. First introduced in 1796, the dime has seen numerous design changes over the years. By the time 1980 rolled around, the design of the dime had been stable for decades. The reverse side of the coin, which had once featured an eagle, now carried the familiar olive branch and torch motif, symbols of peace and liberty, respectively. These elements were part of the winged liberty head design, which was introduced in 1916, created by artist Adolph A. Weinman. But what made the dime of 1980 stand out, aside from the changing tides in America, was its enduring significance as a symbol of continuity in the nation's currency. While larger coins such as quarters and half dollars had undergone frequent redesigns, the dime had maintained a solid, recognizable design throughout the years, and it became a part of the daily fabric of American life. Yet the 1981 dime would also be one of the last examples of this particular design before the arrival of the Roosevelt dime. While the Roosevelt dime had been released in 1946, shortly after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the design of the coin remained a permanent fixture in U.S. currency. However, the dimes struck in 1980 carry a legacy of their own. The 1980 dime is special not only for its historical context but also for the subtle yet significant features that collectors look for when evaluating the coin. The year 1980, as you might imagine, was a busy one in terms of minting activity. The U.S. Mint produced millions of these coins, making the 1980 dime widely available. However, it is in the fine details, the rarities, and the errors that the coin's value begins to truly rise. As with all coins, minting errors have the potential to turn a coin worth face value into something far more precious. In the case of the 1980 dime, certain varieties have drawn the attention of collectors and numismatists. Some coins from that year were struck with die errors or mismatched minting processes, causing slight variations that have led to a significant rise in value. These errors can be found in a variety of forms: a doubled die, off-center strikes, or even coins that were struck on the wrong type of planchet. Each of these issues adds rarity and uniqueness, which naturally increases the coin's value. For example, a 1980 dime that was struck with an off-center die could feature a design that's misaligned, resulting in an incomplete image or text. While this may seem like an imperfection to the untrained eye, it's precisely these errors that make certain coins extremely valuable. Coin collectors are often on the lookout for these mistakes because they know that only a small number of such coins will ever exist. For those looking to add these rarities to their collection, a 1980 dime with a noticeable error can quickly go from a mere 10-cent coin to a highly coveted piece worth much more. As we turn our attention to the appeal of the 1980 dime among collectors, it's essential to recognize that this small coin has taken on an almost mythical status in the world of numismatics. In the world of coin collecting, rarity is key. And in this case, the 1980 dime's unique status, combined with minting anomalies, has made it a highly desirable piece. Those fortunate enough to own a specimen with rare features can expect their coin to fetch high prices at auction. Numismatists often marvel at the well-preserved examples of this coin, as the condition of the dime significantly affects its value. A coin that is in mint or near mint condition, particularly one with sharp, crisp details, can be worth far more than a well-circulated dime, even if it is the same year and design. The story of the 1980 dime and its growing appeal is one that resonates with coin enthusiasts who know the magic that can happen when a small error or slight variation occurs in the minting process. There's something exhilarating about the discovery of a rare coin, particularly one that has been hidden in plain sight for decades, waiting for the right collector to come across it. It's the thrill of the chase that drives many to hunt for these rare coins, and it's this same sense of excitement that has contributed to the skyrocketing value of the 1981 dime. And now, we come to the heart of the story, the value of the 1981 dime coin. While most coins from this year are worth their face value of 10 cents, a rare 1980 dime can fetch much more. Some specimens of the 1980 dime, particularly those with noticeable minting errors or in pristine condition, have sold for amounts that far exceed what you might expect from a dime. In fact, the value of a rare 1980 dime has reached an incredible $128,000 at auction in recent years. Yes, $128,000. That is no typo. A coin that originally was worth just 10 cents could now be worth more than many people's homes or cars. This astonishing increase in value is the result of both the rarity of the coin and the demand among collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for such a find. It's a reflection of how rare coins can rise in value over time, especially when collectors realize that they hold a unique, almost one-of-a-kind piece of American history. For many, this value is nothing short of a discovery. When you consider that the 1980 dime was a regular circulating coin just a few decades ago, and now it can command a price in the six figures, it speaks to the passion and dedication that numismatists have for preserving these little pieces of history. What once seemed like a small, insignificant coin is now a valuable treasure that can change the fortunes of those lucky enough to find it. So, the next time you come across a 1981 dime coin, take a closer look. While it might seem like just another coin in your pocket, it could be hiding a rare feature that makes it worth far more than you ever imagined. And if you happen to have a collection of them, you might just be sitting on a small fortune. It's hard to believe that the turn of the century, the year 2000, was more than 2 decades ago. A time when the world braced itself for the challenges of a new millennium. People everywhere were reflecting on the 20th century's rapid advances, new technologies, geopolitical shifts, and an evolving sense of global connectivity. For the United States, the year 2000 was an exciting time, full of both uncertainties and opportunities. It was a time of change, not just politically or socially, but also in the world of currency. In the midst of this, a coin that was produced for general circulation, the 2001 dime coin, might have seemed like a simple, everyday object, destined to get lost in pockets and vending machines. Yet, as we look at this coin today, it represents more than just its modest 10-cent face value. The 2001 dime has a story worth telling, a history tied to its design, its minting, and the quirks that have led to its stunning value. For a coin so small, the journey of the 2000 dime is packed with significance. In fact, its place in American numismatics was so important that certain versions of this coin are now valued at an incredible $116,000, yes, $116,000, for a dime that originally only had a face value of 10 cents. Before we dive into the intricacies of the 2001 dime coin, let's first take a step back and understand the historical and cultural context in which this coin was minted. The year 2000 marked the end of the 20th century, a period defined by tremendous change. The world was on the cusp of a new millennium, and as society geared up for the technological leaps of the 21st century, the United States continued its journey in a post-Cold War, increasingly globalized world. One of the most notable events of 2000 was the presidential election, which brought the country to the edge of a cliffhanger. The race between George W. Bush and Al Gore would go down in history as one of the closest and most contentious elections in American history, leading to the controversial recount in Florida. But while this momentous political event played out on the world stage, another momentous occasion, albeit on a much smaller scale, was taking place with a coin, the release of the 2001 dime. Now, let's talk about the design. The design of the 2001 dime was not entirely new but carried forward the classic motif of the Roosevelt dime, which had been in circulation since 1946. The obverse of the coin featured the familiar portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, who is often remembered for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. Roosevelt's likeness, crafted by sculptor John R. Sinek, had been a part of American currency for more than half a century by 2000. On the reverse side of the 2001 dime, however, was where the magic happened. This is where things started to take a unique turn. While the reverse design had remained unchanged for many years, featuring a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, the context in which it existed had evolved. The olive branch and oak branch represent peace and strength, a timeless message that resonates even today. The torch symbolizes liberty and freedom, themes central to American identity. In essence, the reverse design, like the obverse, carries deep symbolic meaning, a reminder of the nation's founding principles, but as we move forward in time, we start to see the shifts in how coins were being handled and minted, especially as the coinage system began to face new challenges and opportunities. The late 1990s and early 2000s saw the U.S. Mint working to refine its processes and incorporate the latest technology to produce coins with greater precision. In 2000, the Mint was working in a modernized era where public awareness of numismatics had begun to increase significantly. What's fascinating about the 2001 dime coin is how it has become a focal point for collectors and investors alike. With the introduction of specialized coin programs like the 50-State Quarters program and the America the Beautiful Quarters program, more people were becoming interested in coins, not just as everyday currency but as items of interest to be collected, studied, and appreciated for their historical significance. In addition, the increasing interest in error coins in the 1990s and 2000s sparked the demand for coins like the 2000 dime that were struck with irregularities, mistakes, or unique features. Collectors quickly learned that minor errors could lead to significantly increased values. Errors such as off-center strikes, double dies, and coins with mismatched minting marks could turn an ordinary coin into a rare and highly valuable treasure. As the years passed, certain 2001 dimes were discovered to possess these rare characteristics. Whether it was an off-center strike or a unique die break, these small but noticeable variations made some 2000 dimes highly sought after. The rarity of these features is precisely what makes them stand out in the crowded world of coin collecting. Among these rarities, the most valuable specimens of the 2001 dime coin are those that have been struck with errors that are nearly impossible to replicate. Coins with misaligned dies, missing elements, or even coins that were struck on incorrect planchets have become particularly valuable. These errors can occur during the minting process, where a coin is accidentally struck with a die that is slightly out of alignment, causing the design to appear distorted. Sometimes, a coin may even be struck with a die that has been damaged, leading to small cracks or chips in the image on the coin. While the chances of finding such a rare version of the 2000 dime in your pocket are slim, it's not impossible. Coin collectors and enthusiasts often scour change, search through rolls of coins, or purchase large collections, hoping to find these elusive rarities. When these coins are discovered, they are sometimes sent to professional grading services like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation (NGC), or the Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS), which assign a grade based on the coin's condition. The condition of the coin is one of the most important factors in determining its value. Coins in mint or near mint condition, particularly those that have been carefully preserved, can fetch substantial prices. In the case of the 2001 dime, even a slight imperfection or a small but noticeable error can cause its value to skyrocket. This is where the auction world comes in. The 2001 dime coin has appeared at numerous auctions over the years, and some rare versions have sold for staggering amounts. A few years ago, one such dime, an error coin that had been struck off-center, was sold for an astonishing $116,000. That's right, a dime worth 10 cents at face value became a treasure worth over $100,000. How could this happen? It's simple. The rarity of the error, combined with the coin's condition and historical context, made it a prized possession among collectors who were willing to pay top dollar to own it. It's the uniqueness of each coin that drives its value. While there are thousands, if not millions, of regular 2001 dimes in circulation, those with the right error, flaw, or condition are rare, and rarity is the cornerstone of numismatic value. Some collectors spend their entire lives searching for these rare finds, while others may stumble upon them by chance. Either way, the thrill of finding a coin worth far more than its face value is part of what makes coin collecting such an exciting pursuit. So, let's bring this story full circle. While the 2001 dime coin may have seemed like a humble piece of currency when it was released, its value today tells a different story. As of now, certain 2000 dimes, particularly those with rare errors, are worth a staggering $116,000. This is the result of decades of collecting, the pursuit of rarities, and the unceasing passion of numismatists who treasure the history and uniqueness of these small yet powerful objects. If you happen to come across a 2001 dime coin in your change, take a closer look. You might just have a rare piece of American history in your hands, one that could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Who knows? You could be holding on to the next $116,000 dime. Activate numismatics enthusiasts and curious viewers alike. Let me know if you'd like further adjustments or more details added. The year 2002 was a time of change and reflection. In the United States, the country was still processing the profound impact of the September 11th attacks just a year earlier, and the world was looking forward to what the 21st century would bring. For the American people, the day-to-day seemed much the same, with a steady flow of mundane activities, work, family, school, and, of course, handling coins. Yet among these ordinary coins, one dime stood out. The 2002 one dime coin, often seen as just another small piece of currency, carried a deep legacy and, in some rare cases, has now become a hidden treasure. At face value, a dime is worth just 10 cents. For most people, it's one of the least noticed coins in circulation. It spends time tucked away in pockets, lost between car seats, or forgotten at the bottom of a coin jar. Yet, like so many things in life, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. In fact, the 2002 one dime has become one of the most sought-after coins by collectors, some of which have sold for an astounding $112,000 at auction. That's not a typo. A coin worth just 10 cents has soared to become a rare gem valued in the six figures, but what makes the 2002 one dime so valuable? To answer that question, we need to step back and understand the history, design, and journey of this coin. The one dime coin in the U.S. has a rich history that dates all the way back to 1796, when the first dimes were introduced. Over the years, the design of the dime has changed several times, but by 2002, it was part of a series that had been in circulation since 1946, the Roosevelt dime. The design, which had become a staple of American currency, was simple yet elegant, with President Franklin D. Roosevelt's portrait adorning the obverse, and a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch on the reverse. The design of the Roosevelt dime was created by John R. Sinek, who was also responsible for the design of the half-dollar coin that bore Roosevelt's image. President Roosevelt had passed away in 1945, and the U.S. Mint quickly began working on a coin to honor his memory. It wasn't until 1946 that the Roosevelt dime was officially introduced to replace the winged Liberty head design that had been used since 1916. Roosevelt was chosen for this honor due to his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, and the dime was designed to serve as a tribute to his enduring legacy. The reverse of the Roosevelt dime, with its torch, olive branch, and oak branch, became iconic for representing the values of liberty, peace, and strength. For years, the coin had been a symbol of American ideals, circulating quietly in the hands of millions. Little did anyone know, the 2002 edition of this humble dime would carry with it the potential for extraordinary value. In 2002, the U.S. Mint continued its practice of producing billions of these dimes for circulation. They were stamped at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, with millions of coins rolling out to fill pockets across the country. At first glance, the 2002 dime appeared to be just like any other. Yet, as the years passed, it became apparent that certain variations and flaws in the minting process had led to a new focus among collectors: errors, yes, errors. It's the flaws in the minting process that make certain coins far more valuable than others. When a coin is struck improperly, whether due to a misaligned die, double strike, or an off-center strike, it becomes a rarity. These mistakes are what collectors yearn for. In fact, it's precisely these rare and unusual mistakes that caused the value of the 2002 dime to surge. So, while most 2002 dimes are worth only 10 cents, some examples, with unique minting errors, are now being valued in the tens of thousands of dollars. One of the most common types of errors found in the 2002 dimes is the off-center strike. In this case, the coin is struck with the die slightly misaligned, causing the design to be off-center. These coins are considered rare because they are not typically produced in large quantities, and as a result, they catch the eye of numismatists who seek out these unique pieces. Additionally, there are coins with doubled dies, where the image on the coin appears to be slightly doubled due to a flaw in the die. This could be seen on Roosevelt's portrait or other parts of the coin's design, and such dimes are considered even rarer and more desirable by collectors. In fact, a doubled die can make a coin much more valuable, as the error adds a layer of rarity that can't be replicated by regular minting processes. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. As the years have passed, many of these rare dimes, with their unique errors, have been discovered by collectors, dealers, and enthusiasts. The 2002 One Dime has become one of the coins on the radar for many people looking to find an overlooked treasure. With every coin roll opened, with every pocket full of change, collectors are hoping to find that one special dime, a dime that could be worth thousands, or even tens of thousands, of dollars. But how do you know if you found a rare one? Well, collectors and numismatists look for specific characteristics. First, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its value. A coin that has been well preserved over the years will naturally be worth more than one that has been heavily worn or damaged. For the 2002 One Dime, coins in uncirculated or mint state condition are the most desirable. However, it's the errors that really drive up the value. A 2002 dime with an off-center strike, a doubled die, or some other distinctive minting flaw can command an extraordinary price at auction. In fact, certain rare 2002 One Dimes have sold for as much as $112,000 at auction. Yes, a dime that started as a simple 10-cent piece of currency now has the power to change someone's life. Let's pause for a moment and think about how incredible that is. A coin that was likely spent by millions of Americans for a few cents or to pay for a small item can be worth more than the average car, a down payment on a house, or even more than some people's annual salaries. This is the magic of coin collecting. For collectors and investors, finding one of these rare 2002 dimes is like discovering a hidden treasure, a piece of American history that can potentially change their financial future. So, what makes these rare coins so valuable? It all boils down to their rarity. The U.S. Mint strives to produce coins to exacting standards, but errors are inevitable, and when they occur, they produce coins that stand out in a world of mass production. These error coins are collectible because they are unique. There are only a handful, if any, of them in existence, which is what makes them so special and highly coveted by numismatists and collectors alike. And this brings us to the big reveal, the current value of the 2002 One Dime coin. While most 2002 dimes will only fetch their face value of 10 cents, some of the rare error versions of this coin have sold at auction for jaw-dropping amounts. The most valuable of these, particularly those with off-center strikes or double dies, have reached an incredible $112,000 in auctions. Yes, that's right, $112,000 for a single dime. For those lucky enough to own one of these rare 2002 dimes, they're sitting on a small fortune. It's a reminder that sometimes, the most ordinary things in life, like a coin in your pocket, can turn into something extraordinary. The world of numismatics is filled with these hidden treasures, waiting to be discovered. So, if you ever find yourself with a 2002 One Dime, take a moment to inspect it closely. You might just have a rare gem on your hands, one that could be worth far more than you ever imagined. The year 2014, another chapter in the 21st century, was a year that, for many, seemed to be marked by the usual blend of triumphs and tribulations, joys and struggles. Politically, it was a year of reflection and re-evaluation. Socially, it was a time when many Americans were grappling with issues of identity, the economy, and the future of their country. However, in the midst of this fast-paced, ever-changing world, a small, seemingly insignificant object continued to pass unnoticed through millions of hands, the 2014 One Dime coin. If you're like most people, you might look at a dime as just a piece of change, a mere 10-cent coin that doesn't seem to hold much value. After all, what can you really do with just 10 cents? Yet, hidden within this small, everyday coin lies a history that is far richer and more complex than you might expect. The 2014 One Dime coin is far from ordinary. It has become a symbol of the beauty and value that exists within the world of numismatics, reminder that the smallest of objects can hold untold stories and incredible worth. It's hard to imagine that a coin with a face value of just 10 cents could be worth over $100,000, but that's exactly the case with the 2014 One Dime. And no, I'm not talking about an entire collection of dimes or a bundle of them. I'm referring to an individual coin that, through the magic of rare minting errors and the ever-demanding world of coin collecting, has reached an astonishing value of $102,000. But how does a simple 10-cent coin become so valuable? To answer that, we need to dive deep into the historical context and intricacies behind the 2014 One Dime, as well as explore the fascinating world of coin collecting and errors. It all begins with the design. The Roosevelt Dime, which the 2014 coin belongs to, has been a staple in U.S. coinage since 1946. The coin was designed by sculptor John R. Sinek, and it features the likeness of President Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse. Roosevelt was chosen for this honor due to his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. The coin's design was meant to honor Roosevelt's legacy, with his profile facing right, a symbolic gesture of respect and admiration. On the reverse side, the 2014 dime continues to feature the iconic design created by Sinek in the 1940s, a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch. These elements represent liberty, peace, and strength, core ideals of the United States. The torch stands for freedom, the olive branch symbolizes peace, and the oak branch signifies strength and unity. The reverse design has remained largely unchanged for decades, serving as a constant reminder of the values that have defined the country since its inception. But while the design of the 2014 dime is rooted in history, the coin's true significance in the world of numismatics isn't just about its design. It's about the small imperfections, the errors that occurred during the minting process. It's these errors that can turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary one that could fetch thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of dollars at auction. You see, coin errors are incredibly rare and, in many cases, extremely valuable. The U.S. Mint works tirelessly to ensure that coins are produced with the utmost precision, but despite their best efforts, mistakes happen. Some coins are struck with the die misaligned, others are double struck, and some may even feature unique flaws that make them one of a kind. These errors are what collectors live for, and it's exactly these types of flaws that have elevated the 2014 One Dime coin into the realm of exceptional value. So, what types of errors could turn a 2014 dime into a rare, highly valuable item? One of the most coveted errors is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is struck by the minting die but is not properly aligned with the planchet, resulting in an image that is off-center. These types of coins are incredibly rare because they are not produced with the same level of precision that the standard coins are. And that rarity is what drives their value up. Another potential error for the 2014 dime is the double die effect, where the coin is struck with the die in such a way that the image appears to be slightly doubled. This could occur on the design of President Roosevelt's profile, or on the reverse with the torch or branches. Double die coins are highly sought after by collectors because they are not easily replicated, making them a special find for anyone lucky enough to come across one. Additionally, there are other subtle but important variations that can contribute to a coin's increased value. Sometimes, a dime may be struck with an incorrectly engraved die, or it might be misaligned with the mint's design, leading to unique imperfections. These errors, when found, can send shockwaves through the numismatic community, prompting dealers, collectors, and enthusiasts to scramble for these rare pieces. But let's go back to the 2014 One Dime in particular. It's easy to dismiss this coin as just another standard issue in a long line of dimes. After all, millions of these coins were minted in 2014, and they all looked alike. However, as collectors began to dig deeper into the vast world of dimes, they began to notice something peculiar. Some of these coins were struck with subtle but unmistakable errors. Whether it was an off-center strike, a die crack, or an imprecise minting, these variations created a ripple effect in the collecting community. The rare dimes were soon being sold for large sums, and word spread like wildfire that this seemingly ordinary coin had extraordinary value. And now, here's where things get even more exciting. The real value of the 2014 one dime coin can be found when these rare versions are placed in the right hands. A coin with a distinctive error, such as an off-center strike or double die, can fetch a price far beyond its original 10-cent face value. In fact, some of these rare 2014 dimes have been sold at auction for an unbelievable $102,000. Yes, a single dime, worth just 10 cents at the time it was minted, has become a collector's dream, with the potential to change someone's financial future in an instant. You might be wondering, how is this even possible? It all boils down to rarity and demand. While there are millions of 2014 dimes in circulation, the coins with minting errors are extremely rare. When one of these coins is discovered, it becomes a sought-after treasure, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar to own a piece of numismatic history. The world of coin collecting is filled with surprises, and sometimes, the most unexpected items can turn into valuable treasures. The 2014 one dime coin is the perfect example of this. It serves as a reminder that even the smallest, most seemingly insignificant items can hold incredible value. And for collectors who have a keen eye for detail, finding one of these rare error dimes can be a life-changing experience. So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? The next time you find yourself holding a 2014 one dime, take a closer look. Check for any signs of minting errors, whether it's an off-center strike, a double die, or something else. You might just be holding a coin that could be worth far more than its face value. In fact, it could be worth a staggering $102,000, a reminder that in the world of numismatics, even the smallest coins can have the most extraordinary stories.